I travel a lot. Next month I'm going to Japan and then hopefully Guam. And then possibly I'll be off to Southeast Asia to do some shows at some of our military bases in those countries. Now, I love going to foreign countries, especially if I've never been there before. That's exciting. But at my age, long plane rides can take a lot out of me. And they can take a lot out of even you young whippersnappers out there, so it's important to prepare for that. For example, you will be served meals on the plane, but the airplane meals are pretty small and might not tide you over until the next one, so it's a good idea to bring sandwiches and snacks with you. I also bring a lot of reading material with me. Most overseas flights have a good selection of movies and TV shows that you can watch and games you can play, but not all of them. And you don't want to just sit there and stare out the window. And that's another thing, you don't want to just sit there. You want to get up, you want to move around, you want to stretch. Sitting around for hours and hours can cause blood clots to form in your legs, and they can travel to your heart and your brain and really fuck you up. And before you even get on the plane, make sure that there's plenty of time left on your passport. Some countries require that there be at least 3 months or even 6 months left on your passport, or they won't let you in. So just because your passport doesn't expire until after you are planning on leaving that country, if they see that you don't have 3 to 6 months on your passport, depending on the country, you might not be able to get in. And it would be a damn shame to take that long trip and then not be able to get in the country. So don't even think about like, oh, I can cut it close. You can't. And just because weed is legal here in the United States, it's not in most countries. So don't even think that you're going to sneak a joint with you or an edible to enhance your trip. The other countries, the penalties for possession, and especially smuggling, no matter how small the amount is, can be really severe. You'll be lucky if they just kick you out of the country. Most likely you're going to be facing years of hard time. And that's a big price to pay for a little buzz. And I don't drink. I have bad stomach, it doesn't let me drink. But most people can and do. Know yourself. Know what happens to you when you drink. If you tend to get loud and boisterous, maybe you better hold off on the drinking until you get home. Because you don't want to attract a lot of attention to yourself, and you don't want to take a chance on getting in any trouble. And speaking of trouble, don't pull pranks. Don't think, oh, this will be funny, I can make a YouTube video about it. Don't prank people. You never know what kind of trouble that's going to land you in. And stay alert. Americans are not very popular nowadays in a whole lot of country, and that's going to increase now that Donald Trump is president. So don't attract a lot of attention to yourself, and be very aware of your surroundings. And don't overstay your visa. I know of cases where students, for example, decided that they wanted to see more of the country when their classes let out. So they traveled around and had a real good time. And then when they tried to get out of the country, well, their visa had expired. And that's trouble. And Don't think you're just going to call up the embassy if you get in trouble or overstay your visa and they're going to straighten it out for you. There's really very little they can do. They might want to help you very much, but they can't. And so you can be stuck in a country for weeks that you weren't planning on while you straighten out your visa situation. And guess what? Most hotels won't let you check in if you don't have a current visa. So it's going to be real hard for you to find a place to stay. So make sure you know your visa rules. And always keep your passport with you. Even if you have a valid passport, if you leave it in your room, that's like not having a passport. And if you run into a policeman or something like that who wants you to produce your passport and you don't have it on you, that's the same as not having one. So when you're in a foreign country, your passport is always with you. And keep track of it. Make sure that you have it where it can't be stolen. And have enough cash with you. Your ATM card might not work in the ATMs in a foreign country, and your credit card might not be accepted everywhere. So you don't want to have so much cash that you make yourself a target, but you want to have enough cash to get by. Now, I'm not trying to be a wet blanket. Chances are you're going to go overseas and see all these incredible sights and have a really good time, which is the way it should be. Just keep in mind that you are a guest in whatever country you go to, so you need to follow the rules and be on your best behavior. Thanks for listening.